I'd like to talk about a favorite game of mine, a modification to speedball called American Ball. It was a game we played when I was a younger soldier, and we had a great time. It was played on either a soccer field or a football field, and there would be goals at the end of each field, the entire width of the field. We would have 50 to 60 of these guys, soldiers, officers included, and divide them into two teams. And there were at least 6 to 8 goalies. And these goalies would be in those 1 to 2 meter end zones, sharing the goals at each end of the field. It was a brutal game. We did send soldiers to the hospital on occasion. It was played with 2 to 3 soccer balls and 2 to 3 footballs on the field at one time. You could run with them, you could throw them, and of course you could kick them. But you didn't dribble the soccer ball with your feet. Strictly run, throw, catch, and kick. And the object was to throw or kick the ball to one of the goalies, one of your goalies, in either one of these end zones at either end of the field. And of course, you used any means possible to get the ball there. You could run, kick, catch, tackle, maul, and strip the ball from opponents. If the player was tackled, of course, it would be a turnover. If the ball was dropped, it was simply picked up by the next guy, and he either ran or he threw it. And if the ball went out of bounds, the closest person would throw it back in. I think this would be a great game for 6th to 9th grade PE. We would apply the same rules. You could run the ball, you could throw and catch and kick. But of course there'd be no tackling, mauling, takeaways, or stripping the ball from an opponent. Something you couldn't get away with in American ball. And instead of tackling, we would use the infamous flag football flags. Here's how we could modify it. When the flag was stripped, it was a turnover. Some other modifications could be dribbling the soccer ball with your feet. And we have to tighten up our rules a little bit instead of using the free-for-all. You have to limit 1 defender per student throwing or kicking the ball. And if the ball's dropped, it's a turnover. And the throw-ins and the kick-ins, the offending player, his opponent would throw or kick the ball in from wherever the spot of the offense was committed. Of course, we could try to play it indoors, but the soccer field and the football field are by far the best possibilities. And in a classroom environment in a high school or middle school, you're not going to have 50 to 60 players, so the teams will be smaller. You could use either only footballs or only soccer balls. You could put frisbees in there. And then, of course, limit the time that the players hold on to the ball. Should play stagnate. I mean, you can run, kick, and pass. There shouldn't be any reason that the ball would sit in one spot. Now, for a high school PE class, what would we be looking for? This would be a very strenuous cardiorespiratory, and aerobic activity. We would be practicing throwing and catching of the football, and if you applied the rule for dribbling on the ground, you as the teacher would observe proper dribbling control using the instep of the foot. I hope you enjoy this game should you ever attempt to play it. I highly recommend the more physical game. However, we don't want to hurt any kids.